which is part of the FEMA's PrepareAthone America. It's an effort nationwide to get communities prepared for disasters and emergencies and all that involves. So in Columbia County today, drills have been held all across the county. Had an opportunity to visit a school tornado drill, and one of our large factory, John Deere, had an evacuation drill this morning. And then we also had numerous nursing homes, businesses, county offices will be doing drills this afternoon. So it's just been a real community-wide effort today to conduct preparedness drills and teach employees what to do in an emergency. Unfortunately, tomorrow was going to be Prepare and Aware Day, and we have had to cancel that due to the threat of severe weather. They're looking at thunderstorm activity, 90% chance of rain, and we felt like we did not want people to be in harm's way, along with all of these different agencies that you see listed behind me. Dozens of them would be involved in this, and we did not want them to mobilize and to have to go through that tremendous effort. Really no one would come, and it would really be tough to do with the forecast. So we will try to see what we can do in the future as far as that part of it. But fortunately, Sunday is going to be a beautiful day, and houses of worship all across Columbia County will be part of the Praise and Preparedness program, which we will hear from our GEMA representative about specifically in a second. But we're very proud of Columbia County, all the departments for putting this together, all of the citizens, 25,000 plus of our students, and everybody for participating today. Next, I want to call on Columbia County Commission Chairman Ron Cross to say a few words.
Thank you, Pam. Great pleasure to be here, and I want to thank Terry and other gentlemen here for being here for all these proceedings for this Prepare to Action FEMA campaign. And if it's okay, I'd like to have Commissioner Morris come on. Mr. Morris is supposed to be doing this. I've been there for a conference. I was rolling up I-95, and the big bulletin board above us said Interstate 95 closed in South Carolina, find alternate route. This illustrates what can happen, how serious it was, and how pretty much legendary Pam is in preparing for things. It was evident in the ice storm of 2014. She was right on top of the situation this past week, and very fortunate we kind of skirted that the major part of that rain. But it's a pleasure to be here, and I know Mr. Morris has got 2 pages of prepared remarks, so I'll turn it over to him.
No, not 2 pages, maybe 2 minutes. Just on behalf of the Commission, I want to say thank you, and we send our best wishes and great appreciation to Pam and her staff and all these different agencies here. Having been a principal for many years, I know how important it is to be prepared and have drills with children. And I think one of the worst things you can do is have an emergency and nobody knows what to do, so they just panic. But by periodically drilling and educating people, it just gives us a little sense of comfort to know that we're in such good hands with Ms. Tucker and her staff. And you don't have to think back very far when we had the ice storm a little over a year ago, and how we had to go into emergency mode, and how many people came together and was able to get us through that tough time. Up in District 4, it's rather rural. We were without electricity for quite a while, and I live with wells, so electricity is working. We don't have water. But I had listened to Miss Pam, and I had bottles of water stored away, and generators was cranking away. But anyway, I won't belabor the point, other than to say how much the County Commission appreciates you and the job that you do and all of these service agencies. It just gives us a sense of well-being in Columbia County, and that was make Columbia County such a great place to live.
Good afternoon. Pam, I want to tell you what a great program we have going here, and I want to tell you how much we appreciate you allowing us to be a part of it. We enjoy partnering with you guys so much. You guys have a first-rate program here. Last week, we were in Whitfield County, and we were doing the same thing. And you know, Harlan went on before I did, and I'm an old Alabama boy. So as a result of the football game, they moved me up in front of him this week. But enough said about that. You know, America's PrepareAthone is the signature program for FEMA, for it's a national campaign for developing whole communities, building resiliency, and making sure that communities at all levels, all people, all partners are prepared for all hazardous events. Speaking of partnerships, Pam and her staff, they've got it right. We went out with them today. This is about the second or third time we've been up here with them. And I was out with her today to witness a couple of exercises, a couple of drills. And the significant thing that I saw was the partnerships. She's got private sector, she's got schools, she's got the faith-based community, she's got everybody involved. And that's what building a whole community, a resilient community, is all about. You've got to get everybody to the table, get everybody involved. Everybody understands their role. They do it well. And I'll tell you, she has just epitomized that, and she's doing a great job, and we appreciate it. We want to let you know that going forward, anything that you guys are doing, we'll be glad to partner with you. I know Region 4, and as well as FEMA headquarters, we're behind you 100%, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Harlan Prevost, Deputy Director for GEMA Homeland Security, and we're the lead agency in preparing for disaster and disaster planning in response to any type of an emergency. And so we're here. We're proud to be here to support Columbia County. We're proud to be here to support Pam and her team. What more appropriate time than right now? I had the opportunity to go earlier this week to South Carolina. We're very fortunate in Georgia to have been spared from the disaster that our neighbors are experiencing today. Our thoughts go out to them as they continue to recover from the disaster. And thinking back, just had a conversation with Pam. It wasn't very long ago, last year, when Columbia County experienced a crippling ice storm that left thousands here without power. So we understand how important it is to be prepared, and Pam is definitely doing that in Columbia County. And we're partners, and we're here to support Pam. We're here to support Columbia County in any way we can. One of the things that we encourage people to do, the citizens, is that GEMA has got an app called, or a website called Ready Georgia. Ready Georgia gives you the information, gives alerts, information how to be prepared, how to stay in touch with what's going on with our environment. And we even have an app, a free app that you can download to an iPhone or Android phone that gives you that information and gives you those alerts on the go. So thank you, Pam. Thank you to Columbia County. We look forward to continuing our great partnership, and we have that same common goal, and that's to keep the citizens of Georgia safe. We'll continue to strive to do that every day. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Janae Stargell, and I am the faith-based coordinator for Georgia Emergency Management Agency Homeland Security. And I concur with Harlan that I'm happy to be here in support of Pam and Columbia County as they launch this praise initiative of prepare and aware of our houses of worship. Unfortunate for our neighbors in South Carolina, we all see just how important it is to be prepared. And we're also seeing our faith-based organizations and our houses of worship in South Carolina step up, as I've been able to be on a few conference calls with their voluntary organizations that are after the disaster. So with that being said, we want to make sure that Columbia County and our Georgia citizens in general are just as prepared for any type of disaster that can come our way. They're talking about rain, so we want to make sure that we can get on this and start preparing. So we have praise and preparedness. And with praise and preparedness, we have 3 goals that we would like for houses of worship to embrace. And that's facility safety, congregant safety, and community involvement. And with facility safety, we want to make sure that the actual facility and the structure that people come to, whether it's on a Saturday or a Sunday, a Tuesday or a Wednesday, whether it's for a disaster because that's their shelter for the next few nights, we want to make sure that that structure has a plan in place. And we also want to make sure that we give the assessments and the resources that are going to set that house of worship up for success in the future. We also have congregant safety. We have, like Harlan was talking about with our Ready Georgia app and website, we have resources that people can take home and prepare for them for any type of disaster on an individual basis. So with that, we've actually provided these resources on a Praise and Preparedness website so that houses of worship can download the information, print them out, and place them around their facility so that their congregants are able to take the information with them. And again, we now have more preparation, not only in the house of worship, but in the actual homes as well. And the third portion is community involvement. And the community involvement is the most important part, along with planning. And that's preparing our leaders in our houses of worship and our congregants in our houses of worship to go out and be a part of the disaster response and recovery periods and phases. We want to make sure that we give them the skills and the resources to be able to respond, not just what do we do, how do we do it, and we're learning in the field, but let them feel as though they actually are prepared and ready to go into battle in the disaster recovery and response phases. So we also have a partnership program with Praise and Preparedness, and we just encourage houses of worship to take a look at the partnership program and fill out each of the activities in order to, once again, take a further look into preparing and also being a part of the activation of Praise and Preparedness. So we thank you so much, and hope that we can all get together in the praising and preparedness.
And our last speaker.
Good afternoon. I'm Reverend Delia Barber from the Way Church International, and I do want to thank Pam for allowing this opportunity, and I want to ditto everything that everyone has said so far, and Janae did say some of the points that I think I was going to say. I'm not an expert in this field of preparedness, but I am learning. I'm trying to learn so that I can be of assistance and our house of worship can be of assistance. And I just want to encourage, my role just for these few moments is just to encourage the houses of worship, whether it's a mosque, whatever your faith persuasion is, to be ready and be prepared for any natural disaster and any emergency. I would say don't underestimate what's going on in our community. I'm glad to be a part of a community that's preparing, because this, I can say that we have a visionary here. Pam, you're a visionary, and we're bracing ourselves. When I looked at some things that, from the devastation of some disasters with the Katrina, that was an $81 billion damage in cost, and that's a lot of money. And when I looked at research, the earthquake and tsunami in Japan, that was $235 billion. And just the recent storm aftermath in South Carolina, when I looked at it, it's already at $1 billion. Not to mention the lives that have been lost in natural disaster and emergencies, as well as the cost. So it behooves us to be prepared. And I want to encourage the houses of worship to have a plan. Have a plan, get with the necessary agencies that can give you that material. And some of the things that I researched and looked up, and this came from the Virginia District Church of Brethren, is in your houses of worship, have a crisis management plan. Also have an emergency management plan. Have security training, as well as an evacuation plan. Also have a plan where congregants will gather once they exit a building for their safety. Also have a place where you can gather inside of the building in case of a tornado or storm. Think about these things. Also identify people within your faith-based communities that first aid and CPR certified, as well as medical professionals. And by all means attend the preparedness events like we're having in Columbia County. So again, I just want to thank those that are part of Pam Tucker staff, that have put all this together and coordinated this PrepareAthone event for this weekend. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions of any of the speakers today?
Pam, I do have a question for you. For the event that's canceled for tomorrow because of the weather, one, what exactly was going to be going on? And two, is there a message that you wanted to convey that maybe we can help get out there?
Yeah, a couple of the big main elements, and it's just so many. You know, you see all the things we have here. Coming up on this winter, we're already looking at the probability of having more winter weather this winter. That's pretty much in the forecast. And part of what we were doing was to have Home Depot do demos, generators and things. So, you know, outside of having this to come to tomorrow, people should still go ahead and research and look at generators and other things that they need in their home to be prepared if we do have another ice storm with power outages and things like that. Have emergency supply kits, and you know, we can still provide all that information if they'll just contact us. We're here every day to help, and I'm on email 24 hours a day, so you know, pretty much any way that somebody wants to reach me, they can. We're sad about not being able to do this.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about what happened today at the places that you visited, especially like Columbia Middle, and exactly what you guys did?
Yes, at Columbia Middle School, we arrived about 9:15, and at 9 o'clock, they initiated a tornado, simulated tornado from the front office over the intercom system. And then we watched from several different locations, coming down stairways, coming out of classrooms, students quietly and orderly going directly to the correct position, getting in the correct position, facing the wall, crouching down with their hands around their neck, being very quiet and orderly. It was probably the textbook proper way to conduct a tornado drill. We were very impressed with that. And then John Deere, we went there in the same scenario. They sounded the alarm, and this was an evacuation drill. And hundreds of their workers, 350 in fact, came out of 3 different ways and went to a safe distance away from the building in a very good evacuation. So we're very proud to be able to observe and see that our community, they do know what to do, and they are going to be safe whenever emergencies occur. Anything else?
Is there a 10-minute, 15-minute video that we can get as house of worship that we can show our congregation?
We do have, and we will email that to you. Susie, you can email it to the group, if you will, today. And in fact, some of the churches are actually showing that tomorrow as part of their service. Some of them are fully evacuating into their safe areas. Some are going to be downloading the Code Red app during service to get weather alerts. So there's a lot of emergency actions that will be happening that are different for a church service, but as many have said, this is needed for our congregations to be safe and prepared. Okay. Well, we really appreciate you all coming today. Thank you. And thank all of you so much.